We wanted to have an opportunity tonight to share a lot of information with you about the Experience Show coming up, and then I get a chance to introduce a friend also tonight, which I'm very excited to have that opportunity to do. We want to give you some insights on how you can make the most of your attendance to the Experience this year, and make sure you get the most bang for your buck for attending our show. There's so much going on there. We want you to know how to get involved and how to be a bigger part of the overall program. One thing I want you to know is that if you have not registered for the event, we're going to reopen the $149 registration rate for those on the webinar who have not yet purchased their passes. So right now we're at $199. In past years we've been at $495. We want everybody to take advantage of the educational opportunities at the show, and a great opportunity for networking and meeting people who have been very successful in the industry like yourselves, and also just learn some new tips and ideas. We're giving away 5 raffle tickets. They're $25 each to all who attend the webinar, and you can use these to enter the prize of your choice in the outside live demonstration area. We've got some amazing things going on at the show. We've expanded the whole outside area, and you're going to find that there's 32 carpet and restoration equipment prizes out there worth over $37,000. They're being raffled off this year. You're getting a great opportunity and jump on being involved in that raffle to get some of these prizes. Also, you'll get $180 in free chemical if you are at the Experience in the right place at the right time. The exact details of all this will be given out in just a few minutes. But first, I want you to know a little bit about what's happening tonight. My name's Larry Cooper. I've really enjoyed being a part of the Experience for many years. I'm going to be on the call for about 30 minutes with all of you. I really want to give you any information that I can to make the Experience fantastic for you. Quite a few years ago, I don't know if it's 15 or 20 years ago, I met this guy named Joe Polish, and I was pretty intrigued by Joe, to say the least. Here's a guy who was a dead broke carpet cleaner in the 1990s, and he discovered how to get involved in this thing called direct response marketing. And what happened to his business was amazing, because he went from about $2,100 a month to over $12,300 a month with one truck in just 6 months of developing this amazing system that he took off on. So I watched him for a lot of years. I watched him at a lot of our shows and around the country. I've seen him on the biggest stages in the world talking to huge audiences. I'm always fascinated by his message. Over the last 20 years, Joe has become an industry legend and helped thousands of cleaners transform their lives by teaching them how to double, triple, and even increase their income as much as 1,000%. Now he runs a high-level group called the Genius Network Mastermind, where membership is $25,000 a year, and he gets to learn from the most brilliant marketers and business people in the world. What an incredible opportunity. People who are making tens of millions of dollars in every line of business you can think of. Joe's here to bring some of his experience to tonight's session as we get excited for the incredible upcoming event. I want to introduce all of you to my good friend Joe Polish.
Thank you so much, Larry. It's actually great to be here, and what I want to do today is just give everyone that's participating in this webinar an opportunity to hear what it's all about, really get them motivated and persuade them to show up to the Experience event, which is taking place September 3rd through the 5th. There's going to be just a lot of great stuff going on, and this is the first time I've actually spoken at an industry event like this in quite a few years. So I really look forward to seeing a lot of old friends and new friends, and over the years I've had over 7,200 cleaning companies that have become members of Piranha Marketing and under the Rich Cleaner brand that we have, and we still help many cleaners all over the world. And so I've got a lot of stuff to share, and also we have a lot of great things that are going on. And I really want to just ask you some questions, Larry, because you're going to be hopping off here soon because you got to be on TV. So, like you said, we've known each other for many years, and we've been around this industry for a long time. But a lot of people, they may not know me, and they may not know you. And so I'll talk further after you need to take off. But I want to ask, who is Larry Cooper, and how long have you been running the experience event, so we can really talk about why this is happening, how it benefits people that are watching us right now, that are with us right now, and why they should participate in all of this. So let's start off with who you are and what you do.
Thanks, Joe. I'm located in Denver, Colorado, and I had a cleaning and restoration company for over 30 years. I started in the business in the 70s and just loved the business, and I had an opportunity to sell my business, which I did back about 12 years ago. And right after I sold, one of the things that I was really passionate about was the science of the industry and trying to get information out to the industry and just make sure that people were raising the bar all the time in their business, not just out on site, but also at home with their family, in their business structure, and building a solid foundation. And so we built this show based on trying to do as much as we can in 3 different areas. In the classroom, it's critically important that we get people together and let them learn as much as they can. But what we found is that they can only do so much sitting in a classroom, and so we started figuring out ways for them to network with other really successful business owners at our show. And finally, we created this experience of all the hands-on we have throughout the show. We have about 70,000 square feet of hands-on demonstrations going on top of the trade show hall, which has 300 booth spaces, and on top of the classroom space where there's dozens and dozens of opportunities to learn from experts like yourself, Joe, in the classroom.
What do you think someone will miss out on if they don't come to it this year?
You know, what's happening in the industry is there's a lot of changes going on, and there's a lot of new innovation going on. And what we find is that the manufacturers in the industry and the experts in the industry and the guys who are doing the day-to-day work bring their ideas to the show, and they have an opportunity to share it there at the show with everybody in a big way. So there's a lot of manufacturers introducing new ideas, new tools, new opportunities for people to put into their business. Also, we did something really cool this year that I've wanted to do for years. I wanted to get the cleaning and restoration industry back involved in the business and back involved in the show. So I created a contest for 5 cleaners or restorers. They have to be professional cleaners or restorers, either an employee or an owner of a company. Can't be a manufacturer, can't be a professional speaker. And we selected, out of a huge group of people that applied, 5 people to present for 20-minute segments, back to back to back, to find out who's going to deliver the best information that'll help everybody in the industry be successful. And so that's happening during the show. Going to be a lot of fun. There's a big cash prize to the winner of that also, and we're really excited to involve the industry as much as we can.
Awesome. Well, in my background, I always started learning early on. Even when, my story for people that don't know, I was a dead broke carpet cleaner living off credit cards. I got into the business because I had a friend from high school that talked me into starting a cleaning company with him, and I had no background. I'd never worked for anyone in carpet cleaning, so I originally got certified by Michael West and late Carl Williams way back when. And I would go to trade shows. I became the Arizona director of the Carpet and Fabric Care Institute back in 1992, 1993. I would go to events all over the country, and there was nothing back then like there is today, like this, where it is organized. We have so many people coming together with the community and everything that's been put together. So I always think it's just absolutely crazy for someone to exist in a particular industry and not educate yourself and obviously do stuff. But you talked about getting people super involved, not just lectures and things. What are some of the most exciting parts of the show this year? I mean, I know you guys are flooding a house that you built inside the trade show, so can you tell us more about that?
Well, it's kind of funny because we're at the Mirage Hotel, and I received 2 emails today from people that are inside the hotel saying, "We just heard that you're flooding our hotel." And I'm like, "No, we're flooding the house in the hotel." And they said, "Well, that's going to cause all this damage, and we're going to have all these electrical problems." And I'm like, "No, we've got it handled." So we build a house that's about 40 feet by about 15 feet, 2 stories high, got crawl space and attic, and then we flood it to open up the show, and then we teach people hands-on how to properly do restoration. That's pretty cool, and it's always fun to be involved in. This year we've got a couple of other really cool things going on. The Association of Rug Care Specialists are going to be there. They're going to be teaching people hands-on how to identify rugs, how to stretch rugs, how to block rugs, how to just really clean them properly. We've got a full rug cleaning plant set up so they can go in and actually clean the rugs, use a lot of great equipment. There's also on the other side, the cleaning side, which has cleaners involved in carpet and upholstery, hard surface floor cleaning, and also wood cleaning. And then where we have the house also, people at Sapphire and Dry-Ease are going to be in there. They're building a structure, and they're actually going to be teaching the ASD segments right there to 5 people at a time. And then across from them, Phoenix is setting up a crawl space and teaching people how to dry a crawl space properly. That's just on the inside. On the outside, Mikey's Fest is coming in, and they're putting together a whole cleaning crazy opportunity outside. There's 15 trucks out there. There's all kinds of hand-done demos going on, and they've put together $37,000 in prizes that folks can get involved in, and I think they're going to be giving away a lot of stuff to a lot of people that's going to pay for their trip out there, obviously. But, you know, our suppliers have been so supportive and have done just a great job helping us bring this whole thing to the industry. One other thing that's kind of special that's going on at the show that people really don't know a lot about, there's a new trade association, and they're actually putting together a hands-on performance assessment certification, which is really different than what we've been involved in the past. Instead of taking a written exam, now people will actually be challenged about how to actually do a specific type of cleaning process or restoration process. So they're actually going to be teaching people about what's going on there, and then on the 3rd day they're actually going to evaluate people so they can get certified. So some new things going on in the industry, really fun, and I guess I hadn't even talked about some of the fun things going on, including we have a huge party out at the pool. I rented the whole pool at the Mirage. We're putting on a party with a live band, lots of food, lots of drink, and ProChem, of course, always jumps in and helps us with that also.
So when is that going to take place, the big party?
That's Thursday evening at 7:30. And when the party's over, we're going to select 50 people to go be in a slot tournament. And there's $7,000 in prizes given away at the slot tournament also. That'll be inside the Mirage Casino.
Well, so like you had mentioned in the beginning, if someone's not registered for the event, you're reopening the $149 registration rate for those people that are participating right now. So what do they need to do in order to just get registered for that?
Let me just tell you, we normally charge between $400 to $600 for our shows. We lowered the price to $149 up until 2 weeks ago because we want everybody in the industry to have an opportunity to come to the program and fully participate in all of the educational programs. It's critical that we raise the bar in the industry and let people just contribute, show us, teach us, but also learn from others in the industry hands-on. So what they have to do is they'll call our office after this starting tomorrow, and they'll have some paperwork that you guys will get them later on, and that'll allow them to get the $149 registration if they haven't registered yet.
Awesome. I'm unmuting myself here, so there's a little delay in me talking. It's just I'm making sure I keep it as quiet as possible for people listening, because you never know with technology. A lot of people were preaching to the choir. They've already been to events and stuff, but I think it's really good to, as many years as you've been doing this, as many years as I've been doing this. What's some of your words of advice on how to get the most out of attending the event? So if someone's going to come down, how do they squeeze the most juice out of this in order to make it just a real valuable return on their time, on their money, on their, the investment they're putting into this?
We created a full app program that has the whole schedule and program on it. And in that app program, you can also make appointments with some of the exhibitors that are there. I wouldn't try to do everything that's there. I would pick 4 or 5 sessions to go to. I would look at some specific areas in our hands-on that you want to improve in or expand into and learn about. For instance, we have a whole content exhibit set up for content restoration. If you want to get into that, you can go over to Fireline and talk to those guys. They do an amazing job in helping you set up a whole content restoration business. But I would specifically pick out 4 or 5 areas to go after and do your best to get as much training in those areas so you can bring those back and implement them into your business. My philosophy for everything I went to is to bring back 1 or 2 ideas, but where there's much going on in our show, 4 or 5 ideas should be easy to do. And then I'd also find some exhibitors in the trade show hall. Here's your chance to be face-to-face with them. Set up appointments with them. Go visit them. Talk to them about your success or problems out in the field. Talk to them about their products. Tell them what you need out there, and tell them what would make you more successful. That's why they're there. They want to support you, and this is a place where you can actually get face-to-face with them.
Yeah, and I also really believe that in things like this, more is caught than taught. So you can go and listen to a lot of sessions, but at the same time, just having the conversations and just talking to all the people. You know, when you come to getting out of your own world and going to another location and then spending time with other people that are in the same business that you are but doing different things and just finding out what the best practices are, what are the best techniques, what are, you know, because there's all the different areas where you can excel in business. And I think it's a good point that you made, you know, find 4 or 5 areas where there's you can have real major takeaways. And I think it's really good. You know, I have a podcast on iTunes, as you know, called I Love Marketing, and we teach in that model that there's 3 stages of a business. There's the before unit, what you do to get business. There's the during unit, how you actually provide the service, what you do while you're interacting with the client, and you know what you need to do in order to, you know, deliver world-class service. And then after someone's given you money, there's the after unit, which what do you need to do to make sure these people are happy, they do business with you again, and it orchestrates referrals. So I think of every business as having 3 separate units, the before, the during, and the after. And I think if everyone participating and watching us right now was to think of all the different areas, you know, where does your cleaning or restoration business need the most help? In the before unit, the during unit, the after unit, and look for all of the different, you know, vendors, all of the different people, all the different education that could, because the chain is only as strong as the weakest link. And if you're really strong in one area but really weak somewhere else, you know, that's going to obviously affect your, you know, your ability to have a profitable company, your ability to deliver world-class services, to hire the right people. So there, you know, pretty much at this event, you're gonna there's very little that you're not going to be able to discover in every aspect of running a more successful cleaning and restoration company. So, Larry, the trade show starts at 4 p.m., the actual trade show, on Wednesday, September 3rd, but there's a lot of other things that are going on in the morning before that. So I'd love to have you take us through that.
Absolutely. Our show starts early in the morning. Unfortunately, in Vegas, that's not always the easiest thing to make happen. But you know, when we start our show at 8:30 in the morning on Wednesday, there's 4 incredible programs going on, and I'll just highlight one because you're sitting in front of me, Joe. But the opportunity to go to the Silver Bullet that creates a successful cleaning and restoration company with yourself and with Joel is an amazing opportunity. If people don't understand the knowledge you have that you can share with them to make their business successful immediately, they're missing the boat on the whole show. That's what the show's about. Guys coming in like you and Joel that have an impact on their businesses immediately, and they can take home and implement it. The show, we're giving you an amazing gift, actually. It's an opportunity that if you don't go to it, I'm not sure why you're in business. The bottom line is we're all in business to make money. Me too with the show. And we have some opportunities in front of us, September 3rd through 5th, where we could excel our businesses and double, triple, quadruple our businesses in a short period of time just by learning to be smart in how we run our businesses, not just in the management and marketing, which is crucial, but especially in how we interact with all of our customers and we propel ourselves into the marketplace. So that's a simple program, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to ask you about some of the other things that are going on. I just want to touch on one thing because when I go and speak at an event like this, and like I said, I haven't done this in a long time,
Yeah.
and I have literally helped thousands of cleaning companies. You know, every day there's cleaners all over the world that are using marketing strategies that I had invented, developed, taught, and not just ideas. They're actual templates and, you know, tools and offers and all kinds of just specific strategies. And I can guarantee that anyone that attends this event, that if they don't feel my presentation alone, the one that I'll be doing with Joel Cohen, who I'm going to introduce everyone to here in a little bit, is not worth the entire fee to come to this event by 10 times. I would, if they came up to me and said, I don't think your presentation was worth the investment that I paid to come to the entire register for the entire show, I will personally cut you a check out of my own pocket because I know that I know how to deliver. And the silver bullet thing, I've talked with Joe Cohen a lot, who works with me in the Rich Cleaner model that we have here. We have tested everything under the sun for cleaning and restoration companies. Like I said to you before we started the webinar, Larry, one of my clients is the largest privately held contract cleaning company in the United States, a $310 million a year company. And so I've got, small mom and pop operations all the way up to the largest privately held, contract cleaning company in the U.S. So I work with all levels of people in the cleaning industry. And from what we can even roughly track, our strategies have generated over $2 billion in revenue for our clients that have actually used them. And so I'm not going to talk about theoretical things. I mean, I will share what's working, what's not working, what's the most powerful offer in the world to get a new cleaning client, as an example. I'm going to talk about that. We've tested thousands of different offers to say how to get someone to call you, visit your website, and take you up on doing business with your cleaning company. I'm going to share what that is. That one piece of advice alone will be worth the investment to come to that. And I, of course, can only speak to what I'm going to talk about here, but there's a whole bunch of other things that are going on. So I'd love to, in the time that you have available, Larry, before you need to get out, is to kind of go through the agenda and highlight some of the things that you think are just, really useful, really valuable things that people that are watching this need to be aware of. So if they haven't made the decision to come to this yet, hopefully this will persuade them and show them the value of what you've put together here.
I think I'll just highlight a few more because there's so many. But there's all kinds of training on cleaning, especially commercial carpet cleaning, residential carpet cleaning. There's incredible programs on restoration itself, how to dry structures properly, all the different tools and equipment that are available that are out there. We're getting the pros to come in and really teach. We've got FLIR coming in with new technology and new equipment to teach us how to use their equipment to evaluate what's happening in the structure. And this year they actually took 2 people from the restoration industry who are instructors and brought them in to train for them so that you're getting a hands-on about how it should be applied to our industry. And that's really critically important. We also have, excuse me, 2 keynotes coming in, which I think is really important. I like to do everything I can to tie the segments of the industry together between the cleaning industry, the manufacturers, the restoration industry, the insurance companies. And this year we were able to tie in and bring in the new CEO of the World Floor Covering Association. His name is Scott Humphreys. And this guy controls so much about what's happening in the industry. And his members are all the retailers in all the floor covering industries around the country. So he's coming in to talk about what's happening. What are the trends? Why is carpet having so much problem out there? Why is there so much hard surface floors being installed? What about restoration companies that are trying to buy floor covering materials and they don't know quite how to get a great deal on it, how to buy direct? What are the channels? What are the different ways to get involved? And then the second keynote that we have coming in, um, she's amazing. I've watched her a few times. Her name is Michelle Prince, and she's doing an address about busy being busy. Stop juggling, overcome procrastination, and get more work done in less time. You know, what I find is I work with a lot of people in their businesses and I try to help them. And they're so tied up in a lot of stuff. They don't do the big things first. They don't do the important things first. And she really helps us bring that to the forefront and take a look at what we're doing in our lives and how we somehow or another waste hours and hours every day where we could be really productive to help our businesses. And that would make a huge impact on what we're doing. So inside where the trade show hall is, when you come in and you go to the right, there are 3 huge rooms that you can go back to. It's all hands-on. That's where the hands-on is inside. When you come into the trade show hall and you go left, you can go right outside where there's a huge area with all these tents set up. Oh yeah, there's free beer out there. I'm supposed to not say that, but there's kegs out there all over the place so you can drink if you want to. I guess we're going to Vegas. So nonetheless, there's a lot of things to do and learn and touch and feel. And you know, looking at them is great, but getting them in your hand and trying them out and putting 10 hand tools together and let you try all of them so you see which one you like, that makes a huge difference in what you buy and how quickly you can implement it and use that for yourself. So that's pretty cool. The programs are well defined. For the $149, the registration doesn't include just the trade show and all the hands-on. It includes all the education programs, and it also includes all the cocktail receptions. There's reception on Wednesday night and Thursday night. There's food in the trade show hall on Friday. It's all included in what's going on there. And I think whatever you have an opportunity to bring to the show as far as what you want to get out of it, you'll have that opportunity there. There's so many great people there, and there's so many opportunities to learn.
Yeah, and I just have to reiterate that for $149 for less than the cost of a mediocre cleaning job, you can attend you can attend the entire event. I think it'd be kind of crazy. So, hopping on an airplane, scheduling time away from your business. I mean, I understand all of that, but I always have to look at it and have people ask a pretty simple question: is your business where you want it to be? And if it's not where you want it to be, it's because you're certainly not doing something. And so what is it that you don't know that could take you to another level of profitability, another level of a better clientele, another level of better business management, better enjoyment, better competency, technical skills, hiring, all of those different practices. And it's not the things that people think they need to know. It's all of the things that people don't know that they don't know that they don't know. And those are the things that you discover when you come to something like this. And so you can come to something like this with specific goals in mind, like meet certain people, find out about certain levels of training, go shopping for the very best tools and equipment that you're going to need in your business, but also come there with a beginner's mind saying, hey, I'm just going to discover stuff. And get the heck out of your business. You're going to be doing something September 3rd, 4th, and 5th anyway, so you might as well, devote your time to this because, I always have to think, what else are you going to be doing during that time that's going to give your business a greater opportunity and advantage to become better. And so come to this because you simply want to get better. And again, I go into this thinking, all right, if all someone did was come and see me speak, what do I need to say, do, teach, deliver, that alone, they will say that investment was worth their time? And how can we have that happen many times with different speakers and different things going on in an event that will make it worth their while? So I always take that approach because I always want people to get a 10 times return on any money that they spend. And I must say that none of this money is going to me. I'm not going, I'm not doing this because I'm getting paid to do this. I'm doing this because I have a lot of friends in the industry, and I'm working with Legends Brands now. We're partnering together, doing a lot of stuff, and so it's there to. And the stuff I give away for free will be more valuable than anything that most people would ever pay for in the area of marketing. And I'm going to give people just all kinds of free training, stuff that I've literally charged thousands of dollars for in the past, because I'm just at a position in my life where I'm able to do that, and I like blowing people's minds. And so, having it called the experience, I really want people to have an experience of a lifetime, and so that's why you need to come to this. So, Larry, I know you need to run here, so any other things that you would like to share, discuss, any famous last words, and that sort of stuff, and then I'll bring on another guy named Joel Cohen.
Well, this show is going to be in the Mirage Hotel for the first time. We wanted to step up our brand and our game as much as we possibly could, and so the Mirage is an amazing location. But you need to stay focused on the show during the day and then go play like crazy. It's right in the middle of the unbelievable hotels that are on the Strip, and you can walk anywhere you want to go from there, but the Mirage is awesome all by itself. Rooms are fabulous, newly remodeled. Convention center is amazing. We're taking over a huge portion of it, and it's just a great opportunity to network, relax, have fun, and energize your business. We look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Larry, and good luck on TV tonight. I know you're going to be doing that. And for everyone that's still with us, we'll see you at the show, but I'm going to bring on another guest, and we're going to talk for a few more minutes, and so I appreciate it, Larry. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring on a very special guest. He's a guy that actually runs the Rich Cleaner Piranha Marketing Division, helping cleaners and restorers all over the world build and grow their business. His name is Joel Cohen. I've known Joel since, I think 1995, when him and his wife Julie Cohen actually became members of Piranha Marketing. So we've been doing this stuff for a long time, and then they totally transformed their business. I mean, they built up a $250,000 a year small operation when they were like 23 and 24 years old, simply following direct response marketing strategies, and just became just extraordinarily skilled at writing copy. And we're all at all of the events we did early on, and became kind of gurus to the industry along with me and all that sort of stuff. And many years later, we're still working together, and Joel's been running the the Rich Cleaner Piranha Marketing Division for cleaners now for a while, and Joel's going to share all kinds of stuff that we're going to talk about and how people can benefit from it. So go for it. Welcome, Joel Cohen.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe, for the nice intro. Appreciate it. No, we're really excited to be at the show this year too, because we've been ramping up so that we can get back in front of the, and help you as a cleaner, help you as a restorer to grow your business in the way that you want to, and to see results. One of the things we're focusing on with this silver bullet presentation, we're calling it, because the title of it again is the silver bullet that creates a successful cleaning and restoration company. And so we're not going to tell you what this silver bullet is right here, right now, but we will let you know that it's going to give you a way to completely and ethically grow your business, and we say double your business in as little as 120 days. And if you could just think for a second what that might do for you and how that might affect you if you actually had that kind of income, those kind of resources at your fingertips, and what's it going to take? How are you going to do that? We'll go into the details, of course, at that session. Joe, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to speak to about that in regard to this big bold claim, 120 days. But we've offered that in the past. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, my thoughts are if you're going to really grow and explode your business, you got to break a lot of mental constructs. There's a certain level of mindset that needs to be developed. Meaning, if you want to run $1 million a year business, you're not going to do it with $50,000 a year habits and skills and capabilities. So you need to increase your capabilities. So say someone right now is netting, let's say $100,000 a year, and they want to net $200,000 a year. Well, there's ways that you can do that. You can increase the frequency of how often someone cleans. You can get more clients. You can increase your price. You can package your services in a different way. You can improve your marketing message. There's rarely just one way. Like our silver bullet, we're going to give people, even if they we're going to give people a series of single things that they could do which will be game changers. Together, if they use them, they're going to be gigantic game changers. Now, granted, if someone's running a $10 million business, it's going to be really hard to take it to $20 million in, say, like 120 days, although not impossible. I mean, I've done this for, I mean, even when in the intro here we talked about, Larry was saying that increased businesses by 1,000%. I mean, I've got companies that have worked with us, that have increased, by, multiple factors than 1,000%. I mean, like if someone goes to YouTube as an example and they type in Sandy Raskob, R-A-S-K-O-B, Rick and Sandy Raskob, who are one of our Better Your Best contest winners. There's a 5-minute video of them speaking on stage, and they talked about when they started with us there, 100 and something thousand a year, and that year she had done that video, they were at $2 million a year, implementing these strategies. Well, how is that? Well, because they executed on stuff. So it's not that the recipes aren't out there, the tools aren't out there, it's just that if you know what they are, if you know how to do it and you actually execute it. And like you mentioned, none of this is unethical, none of this is trickery. It's actually very stealth, it's very smart. It will give every cleaner and restorer a total unfair advantage to their competitors, and at the same time, it's entirely up to them. But the biggest thing you gotta do, and I'll share this with people like right now, is that you gotta love and respect and appreciate the field of marketing, because marketing is the ultimate leverage. So what we're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about how to package and how to present yourself and how to sell without having to do a dog and pony show, how to sell without having to use manipulation techniques, how to sell robotically through your website, through different forms of delivery systems. And we're going to share a methodology that I can assure you most people, your competitors, don't do it, don't understand it, and even if they think they understand it, there's a certain way to do it that will, change the whole landscape. So it's really about giving you an entirely new worldview. I mean, the word worldview, I actually like that term. I mean, in this application, some people are like, well, what the hell are you talking about? Like, if you look at your own life and you look at your own business, I'm a big fan of 12-step groups because I'm a former addict. And when I say former addict, I don't believe you ever not an addict. I believe you're either I've told my story before. I was a drug addict when I was 18 years old, and I turned my life around, completely turned my life around. And I'm a big believer in 12-step groups. And even if someone likes or does not like 12-step groups, there's a saying that's your best thinking got you here. They say that to addicts and groups. And the point is well, you think you're so smart, but your life isn't working. Your life is unmanageable. Your life is out of control, but your very best thinking got you here. So you need new thinking. You need different thinking. And so what me and you are going to provide, Joel, is a whole another level of thinking, not based on what Joe Polish thinks, not based on what Joe Cohen thinks, but based on what our clients who are doing what we're suggesting they do actually have experienced. Because no one wants to, I don't think anyone wants to come here and see me or you talk. They want to,
here's the thing too. I wanted to interrupt you just for 1 second because Larry was talking about a couple of the things that we have on that are perks, and right. I can see the admin of the webinar is posting that we're going to give away some of these perks, and there's no strings attached. There's nothing. We just wanted to give you the value first and let you know what we're doing here, at the webinar. So hang tight because those are coming. We've got free raffle tickets that are $25. We'll go into this just a little bit more in case you tuned in late. $180 in free chemical, and also we're giving the early registration price. Larry and the experience has reopened that up if you're attending this webinar, so it's only $149. And I see people are talking on the chat about what are we going to do to buy a ticket now, which is really cool because if we can have just helped a few people more to come to the webinar or from this webinar to actually come to the event, it's life-changing for those people. And I mean, when Joe and I are sitting here talking about changing your business and changing your life, it's not, a lot of people are like, oh, they're just salesmen, they're just, et cetera, et cetera. But really, we love helping people. Joe is one of the biggest-hearted people I know and has helped I mean, thousands upon thousands of people, and I'm excited to be in the position to also help, because it's not so much like, oh, we made a sale, yay, you know. It's more like when somebody buys into what we're talking about and what we're teaching and then implements it, and you see that glow in their eyes of excitement that says, oh my goodness, you know, it's changed my life. That's what juices us, and that's what's, you know, that's what I'm excited about getting to this session in the morning. It's at 8:30 on September 3rd, and the more people that are there, the more people we can help to exponentially change their business. And when we say exponentially, we're talking about not this little gradual line of growth that, you know, sometimes peaks and goes, and, you know, after years and years of hard work and putting in your time, you know, forget that. You know, when I started putting in, and this is not just me, but every person that I talk to that we can help in this way, that takes what we teach and they put it to use, when they do that, instead of getting this little growth, they see peaks in their revenue that just go up and continue to grow until it's, you know, until they just stop putting forth the effort, really, is what it is. So those techniques are what we're excited to show you, instead of having this mediocre business growth cycle that, you know, is okay with a little peak, maybe a little valley. It's like, let's show you how to grow your business in a way that works for thousands and thousands of people, and that's what's really cool about it. And so this is not just some hocus pocus, some not, you know, untried, you know, guess at how to get business, but these are based on solid principles that have been around for years and years and years. And so I'm happy to be, you know, with Piranha Marketing, helping other people to grow their businesses. And there was another point I wanted to make. Oh, I had a question for you, Joe, because some people on the chat were saying something about you going to the library. They're like, oh, what, did he have to go to the library for Wi-Fi? And I told them no. I said, that's his library. And, you know, what? Tell us a little bit about those books behind you, just so people aren't wondering.
Well, here's see the fish with the engine on the very top over there. Well, that one doesn't have the engine, but this is the Barracuda thing, and I got, because I'm wired here on. So, but yeah, these are all my books. I've read over 1,000 books. I own an 11,000 square foot building here in Tempe, Arizona, which is where the Piranha Marketing headquarters are. So I've got a 3,000 square foot area upstairs, which is my own area where we do our Genius Network groups. And, like, you know, people that don't know, I run the highest level mastermind group in the world for direct response marketers. I even have a billionaire in my group. So I have a lot of very well-known, successful people that I work with, and I love books. I love reading.
Yeah, so it's amazing that, you know, even with all those you've actually read, and the things that you have applied from those books is probably what's led to that success, is where I'm sure you're going with that, and that's, you know, that's what's just awesome. But
look at this. Here's one of our rich cleaner systems, right? These are the best strategies on the planet for cleaning and restoration companies. No one in the world, no franchise, no marketing guru, no one has more proven strategies and clienteles and success stories than we do as it relates to that. This is one of our I Love Marketing. It's one of my I Love Marketing books from my I Love Marketing podcast, which is the #1 podcast in the world on iTunes. It's all free. No one needs to buy anything. They can buy the book if they want, but the book's like $100. And that's a compilation of stuff. And there, you know, there's just books everywhere. And you know, many of you know, what a lot of people don't know about me. You know, I'm Richard Branson's largest fundraiser, so I use a lot of my marketing strategies for. You know, I've done a ton of stuff with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I ran Arianna Huffington's book campaign, Thrive, which debuted #1 on New York Times, using the same marketing strategies that I will teach cleaning and restoration companies how to use. So all of this stuff is quite applicable in all kinds of different areas. But, you know, what I was saying before, Joel, is that, you know, people want results. And so the reason that they want to come to this is because we're going to, you know, what we're going to do is we're going to teach them how to get results. I'd love to have you go over some of the people, like with Legends Brand, that are going to be working with us and that are going to help us in all of the people that are going to participate in this to come, you know, get the most out of it. And we'll, you know, we'll show people how to get their butts there if they have not already decided. But I also want to say that, you know, if money earned ethically is a byproduct of value creation. I'm not entitled to make any money, and I run a multi-million-dollar business. I mean, I did in an event last week in Newport Beach, California, with 240 people at $10,000 a person. I mean, I know how to do marketing. I know how to make money. And a lot of people are like, why the hell are you still doing the stuff to cleaners? What's the big catch? What's the sneaky thing? I mean, like, I don't even care. When I come to the experience event, I'm gonna actually give away like all kinds of recordings and stuff, and people never pay me a penny, like ever. Like they never buy anything from me. The stuff I'm gonna give away when they come to the experience, I'm just gonna direct them to, will change their life if they actually use it. I've had people become millionaires listening to my free podcast on iTunes, called I Love Marketing. And I said, I want to do something for the cleaning niche because I just want to freak people the hell out. Because many people are like, whatever happened to Joe Polish? What, not understanding, Joel, how many, hundreds of cleaners every day are just killing it using our marketing strategies, because I don't run full-page ads anymore. They don't realize that we're very stealth in how we go about interacting with cleaning companies. But we have the Rich Cleaner podcast, and we're launching that. And I was like, we're going to give away better stuff for free than what anyone could ever charge money for in the area of marketing. Then the stuff that we charge money for is going to pay for itself. It's never going to cost anything. Like, we will never charge anybody any money for anything that doesn't make them multiples of what we charge, what we charge for. And I go, that'll be really cool. No one will ever have any reason to say, unless they just want to make fun of, they don't like the way I look, or they'll talk about how I used to have long hair and now I have no hair, or whatever the deal is. I've just never, people will never have a legitimate reason to say that these guys don't care about helping us build and grow a cleaning company. And so we got the Rich Cleaner podcast. So I want you to talk about that, because as of today, I think it's going to go live. Now, we're going to change some designs up and everything, but we're literally putting content out there to the world. And so talk about that a little bit, and talk about the people that we're going to be speaking with.
Yeah, you know what, I will. I'm going to come back to the Rich Cleaner podcast if we could, and I'm going to talk just a little bit, since we're on the subject of delivering value at our presentation. And it's not just Joel Cohen and Joe Polish at the presentation. Legend Brands is the one who really invited us to come to their presentation. So, they're a major sponsor at the event, and they started to recognize, because Legend Brands, they're the ones, and if you don't know this, Legend Brands is responsible for a ton of stuff, for ChemSpec chemicals, for Sapphire Scientific, for dry yeast chemical and equipment. What's the other one? Something smoke. They're going to kill me, but I can't remember exactly. But essentially, they've got there's probably not a vehicle that has some sort of carpet equipment or chemical from them in their van. So they have a huge influence in the industry, and they really, ultimately it makes sense for them to make sure that those who are using their equipment are successful, and that their businesses continue to grow, and that they up the level of the industry and the standards in the industry to keep people in business and make our industry thrive. And so, they've connected with us because they know that we're the place. Piranha Marketing is the one place on the planet, the best place on the planet, that really you can get that kind of information for growth. So they're going to be there. This is, after we speak, they're going to come on. Pat Muller is the one that's heading up ChemSpec with Legend Brands. Now, ChemSpec is a chemical line that I remember I used faithfully back in the early 90s, and I think Joe used it, and lots of people have stuck by ChemSpec. Well, they're keeping their original amazing formulas, but they're going to be doing some cool stuff with ChemSpec and bringing it to the market in a different way, and lots and lots of help and training with their ChemSpec products. And so one of the things, Pat Muller is going to be presenting on that, and he made me some notes here. They're going to be talking about just some of these things that will impact your business if you don't know them, about the government protocols of chemistry and cleaning processes, cutting-edge stuff like Larry was talking about, that you just don't know that you don't know, like you said, Joe. What's important, though, is when you show up, we told you we were going to tell you the exact time and place to get $180 of free chemical. Well, that's it, at the presentation at 8:30 in the morning on September 3rd. If you show up there, and we're going to give you a link here, so you'll have to pre-register for it. But if you show up for that event, you're going to get $180 of free chemical from ChemSpec, and it's going to be their most important line. It's called Biosolve, and it's a really heavy-duty pre-spray. Let me see. It's basically it's like an additive that you can use in your pre-spray that gets you phenomenal results. And I was talking to these guys, and they said they're so convinced that these products are going to do, because I said, man, why are you giving away a whole case of it? You know, why do that? And they said, well, we're convinced that once somebody uses it once, they're going to use it for life, and we want to give them a ton of it just to get them started. So, I mean, it's a really nice perk to be able to come there and have one of your main chemicals that you're going to be using every day, you know, paid for how, you know, depending on the size of your business. I mean, a case is a pretty good amount of chemicals. So that's cool. So Pat Muller's going to talk about that, and then Kevin Fisher from Dry-Ease, he's going to talk about investments in your future with technologies. There's this cool thing called the Dry-Ease Plan. We talked about it on one of the episodes we've already recorded for the Rich Cleaner podcast, which is coming up. And Brandon Burton was telling us about it. But there's, you know, if you're in restoration, the Dry-Ease Plan, it's a free app. You'll have to check it out. I'm not going to speak out of line because these guys know their stuff way better. But I've looked at it, and it's amazing. And they're going to teach you all about how to use that. And it's a mobile solution for water mitigation. So that'll be really, really cool. And so I guess you know, speaking about that podcast, because we've started out a few of our interviews with Legend Brands, and the Rich Cleaner podcast is going to be the one place that you can come to listen to everything you need to know to grow your business with good marketing and with good best practices when it comes to chemicals, equipment, etc. So, you know, we have such connections in the industry, you know, through Joe, through myself, and just through years and years of experience in helping not only people to grow, like we've been talking about with marketing, but helping people with by connecting them with those industry experts, like Legend Brands and like Truck Mount Forums. Those guys rock too, and they do a good job of bringing that. But this will be a weekly podcast that you can listen to. You know, if you're out there cleaning carpets, if you're doing the job yourself, or if you're managing your crew and you're driving from job to job, or whatever your role, you can find 30 minutes a week to listen to stuff that's going to help you to grow your business. And so that's what the Rich Cleaner podcast is about. And we're excited to be launching that at the event, and we're going to be you know, giving a bunch of really cool stuff away. So, Joe, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to talk about in regard to our session in the morning at 8:30 there on September 3rd, but you know, well, what else would you like to say about that? And then
what I would say, like, here is my very first business card. And this is the last remaining one that I know of in existence, and it's when my company used to be called Superior Carpet Care. It's servicing the East Valley, specializing in carpet upholstery, car interiors, soil extraction cleaning. This was from 1990. All right, so this is a pretty old business card. It had my name and a guy named Craig who used to work for me. And you know, in that period of time, I have learned a lot about what makes a successful cleaning company work and what does not. And I transformed the cleaning industry with the marketing that I introduced. And when I first came out of the chute, I got a lot of resistance from a lot of people because what I taught was very contrarian. It was very new. I've always loved that saying, you know, truth goes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed, then it's violently opposed, then it's accepted as self-evident. And that's always tended to be sort of, you know, I'm a big believer in creative destruction. You know, some things need to be creatively destroyed because they flat out don't work. And so much of the stuff that is taught to people is just nonsense. And when it comes to investing in education, you know, the most expensive information in the world is bad information. You know, even if you get it for free, there's been a lot of really bad free advice that's never. It wasn't free. It cost people money. It costs people time, and in some cases, it costs them to lose their businesses and lose their lives. And so you got to really be aware of what you pay attention to and who you pay attention from. And so about our, you know, with what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about things that actually work, and that don't just work for other people or for us, but will work for every person that is listening to us right now if they apply it and do it in the way that we're going to describe what to do and how to do it. It's completely ethical. It absolutely works, and there will be no question along that. And if I could download in 5 minutes everything you need to know on how to develop what I call an ELF business, easy, lucrative, and fun, versus a half business, which is hard, annoying, lame, and frustrating. For one, there'd be no reason for me to fly somewhere and speak to everyone. There'd be no reason for us to have the Rich Cleaner podcast. This is inviting everybody to start a journey with us. This is an invitation for you to come to this event. We're going to be there. Meet us. I'm going to hang around for not the entire event, but for probably the first couple of days. I'm going to bring a team of our team members from Piranha Marketing and Rich Cleaner. So we're going to have a booth there. We are there to help and serve. So if anyone has any questions for us, we will be there to assist and help. And we had a long conversation about this, going, if we're going to reintroduce something into the industry, let's do what I did way back when. Let's blow people's socks off. This is going to be a game changer. I don't do anything on a mediocre level because that would bore the daylights out of me. And we're working with Legend Brands, and it's going to be awesome. And so I just invite everyone to come on down and start listening to our Rich Cleaner podcast. You can go to richcleaner.com right now. You can listen to the first episode, and you're going to immediately start getting value right out of the chute. And then this will just continue the party. And so I would say, Joel, at this point, tell everyone what they need to do to register. If anyone has any questions for us, I'm happy to answer them. If you have any more questions for me, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I was looking at, somebody was asking about, how they're going to fit a whole case of chemical in their suitcase. They're like, crud. Of course, Legend Brands thought of that, and they're going to ship it to you. So, I mean, that's an added value. It gets shipped to your front door once you've attended our session, that morning session. So that should answer that question. But, in regard to the perks, I mean, it's really simple. We talked about these at the beginning. And the first one, just like we said, is $180 of free BioSolve from ChemSpec. They're going to take care of that as long as you're at our session and you've pre-registered for it here tonight. I'm going to I'll give you the link here in just a second where you can get that. They're going to give away Larry from the Experience and Jennifer, they're giving away free raffle tickets. And so there's a list. You know what, I don't have time to read it, but there are over 32 prizes that are on this list that are being raffled off. And I mean, I guess a couple of things. Well, if I read one of them, I'd have to read all of them, and that's
you can read a couple, but just read a couple.
All right, so they're giving away a $3,000 rotary extractor from Sapphire Scientific, an RX-20 worth $3,350, rotary extractor, the Rotovac, 20-inch Brush Pro. I mean, that's awesome. It goes on and on and on. There's a zipper wand worth $2,000. There's a EDIC floor machine. The list goes on and on, but there's over $37,000 worth of prizes. Larry is giving you guys a jump start by giving you five tickets. That's a $25 value, and so you can go and put them into whatever raffle box or spread them around, however you want to use them. But that's awesome, being able to have those. It's $25 worth of stuff.
There might even be a mud wrestling contest with everyone in this industry that calls themselves a marketing guru.
Yeah, right. We can do something like that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
You can sell raffle tickets for that.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of awesome stuff. So.
Yeah, the winner gets to jump in there with them.
Right, exactly.
So what I'm getting at is we're going to give you this link here where you can go register to get these. You have to register for them so that when you come to the Experience, so that they know that you've been on the webinar and that you can get them. So make sure you register here. Just a second, I'll give you the link. And lastly, again, they're opening up that $149 early registration price. And so, and on top of that, we're going to give away some really cool stuff like Joe said at our presentation. So come to the morning presentation. I'm going to go ahead and put this up for you now, and this will have all the details when you go to it's cleanersresource.com/perks. Let me go ahead and put that up on the screen for you, and that way you can see it. And make sure you go to this web page, and I'm also going to go ahead and just give you a direct link right now that you can click on. And once you do that, go there, fill it out. It's real simple. Let me make sure I'm getting you what you need. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so go to www.cleanersresource.com/perks to get the webinar perks, and enter your information completely and submit it, and you will be set. You'll have instructions on the other side on who to call over at the experience if you haven't registered yet. You want that $149 registration price, and then all the other things. The case of Biosolve. Again, if you come in the morning at 8:30 on September 3rd, on the first day of the trade show, you're going to get that shipped to you from Legend Brands, and then 5 free raffle tickets. So I think we covered everything we needed to cover on this. We can leave this link up a little bit longer as I talk and as you talk, Joe, and that way people can have a chance to go and take advantage of this and go fill out the little form so they can get some of these things. And we're just really excited to be there. I'm going to check and see if there are any questions that are related to marketing and things. Now, Larry Cooper had to leave, so when it comes to actual trade show questions, we may know a little bit about it, but we'll have to defer some of your questions to Jennifer over at the experience, and just look at your contact information to get her email. But in the meantime, if there's anything that's pressing, we can look at the feed here. If there's anything else, Joe, that you wanted to add while maybe people are thinking of some questions that they might want to ask while they have us live, we can go from there.
No, I would just encourage people to register. I always love the famous Wayne Gretzky quote where you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I would encourage people to, if you're not already registered, then rearrange your schedule, figure out how to come down there, and be there on time at 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, September 3rd in Vegas, and come and see our presentation. And I'm happy to meet anyone. I'm a very approachable guy as long as people aren't being complete goofballs, and I'm happy to help. I love seeing people excel, and I know what I know what I share and what you share, Joel. I know what we're going to share with everyone. Really has the ability and capacity not only to change their business and their lives, but every aspect of it. Because if you help one person grow, if they have children, if they have family members, if they have team members, if they're in a community, it helps everybody. And so I really get a kick out of that, and that's why I devote a tremendous amount of my time. Even my podcasts I do, online for free. I know that a lot of people will never pay me anything. I get a real psychological paycheck, though, when knowing that people utilize what it is that we offer and what it is that we teach. And so we're happy to do that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, and we're, like I said, I'm looking forward to doing the same thing, and getting that same sort of, I like what you said, a psychological paycheck. I mean, that's great, and it really is awesome to know when you can help people and see their businesses grow and get to experience the same type of, growth that I experienced, Joe, and you've experienced, and thousands of others that have too.
Yep, totally. No, and I had a lot of people help me out when I was struggling in the very beginning. When I first started my business and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, I didn't even understand what marketing was. I had a lot of people that helped me, and most of those people that that became friends, I learned through, basically going to trade associations, being a member of trade associations, going to, cleaning events, and doing everything that I could. And a lot of this I had to fund on credit cards in the very beginning because I wasn't making enough cash flow. But the fact that I was willing to do that is what gave me the advantage. The knowledge is out there. I mean, the knowledge, the know-how, the methods, the strategies, it's all available. The question is, do you avail yourselves of it? And so, avail yourselves of it. And if you don't, if your business isn't where you want it to be, it's no one's fault but your own, because when everyone wakes up every morning and looks in the mirror, they are looking at the problem. And they're also looking at the solution too, so that's the deal.
People here are looking at we made a typo on the on the actual physical link that you can look at. It says Cleaners Resource. It should say .com/perks, and we left the .com off. But the actual link that's to the side of your video, which should have popped up and should still be there, if you roll over the area that says Pop-ins, that's at the top of your chat, you'll see that there's a direct link. You just click the button, and that works. It's cleanersresource.com/perks. And so,
well, see, that's where we have the sales prevention department actually.
well, there's nothing to buy really. It's just that Let me go ahead. What I'll do is I'll put that up there at the very top too of the chat roll, so that people can get that permanently. www.cleanersresource.com, and that way. Hang on. Yeah. So no big deal. The link works on the right. Click on that, and then if not, type in the link that is right here. www. Okay, now it's people get the point. www.cleanersresource.com.
I don't even know what everyone's looking at. I'm just staring at the computer here, so I think it's a different screen for me since I'm a.
Yeah, we keep you totally in the dark, Joe.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on right now. But does anyone have any questions for me or anything before we jump off and let everyone go do their thing?
No, we got a lot of nice comments. Dan says, thank you, Joel and Joe. Can't wait for the seminar. There's some people that, before we ran into this link here thing, let me look at the chat. It's, some people are having regrets that they can't make it because they maybe already had their flights booked a little too late. They were arriving later in the day.
That's not acceptable. Just change your flight, figure it out, you make it happen.
There is a question here from Billy. He says, I'm in the stone cleaning and restoration portion of the industry.
Yep.
And I haven't heard anything that's geared toward my portion of the industry. Great question. So nothing that's being geared towards stone cleaning and restoration, but he wants to know, he says there's nothing that's proved as incentives for him. I mean, I know how we can answer that question, Joe, but go ahead. What would you have to say to that?
Well, we have this thing called Piranha Central that we set up for our, years ago. I mean, it's still active. I mean, we have it for we have members, and we have over 1,000 downloadable documents from, everything for the before, during, and after stages of building and growing any sort of cleaning company. I don't care if it's, air duct cleaning or restoration or hard surface or carpet or whatever. We've got, consumer awareness guides for stone care. We've got, all kinds of things that, can be utilized. So the information's out there. It's just a matter of if you know about it. So,
yeah.
And that being said, there's everything that we've always taught is used by all kinds of service businesses. I mean, even, I figured out stuff 20 years ago that I'll run into cleaning companies today that they have no idea it even exists. And then there's all kinds of new things where people are like, oh, that Joe Polish stuff, and they haven't seen anything that I've created in the last 15 years. And so so people have this weird way of remembering only what they saw or thinking that something else doesn't exist. But it is a very good question, because if you don't know about it, then the question is, well, where is it? How do I get it? How do I utilize it? So the strategies that we do share will apply if you're carpet cleaning, hard surface. I mean, I've got body schools, I've got chiropractors, I've got web designers. I'm an investor in an asteroid mining company. I mean, it could be a month.
That's the power of it. I remember, as a cleaner, when I started out with your stuff, the power was when not only, first I had things to implement, but it didn't take very long after reading all the different things to implement and put into place to start to understand. And really, the key is getting to places like we're going to be presenting, because those types of that type of education where you're face-to-face and it's interactive like this, where you have questions and answers, that's where you start getting really a good knowledge of marketing. And that's how I started to just apply it to everything, just like you're talking about. I mean, we applied it to hiring employees. We applied it to duct cleaning. We added duct cleaning. Window cleaning. We added window cleaning. To selling my businesses ultimately. And so that's what people can gain from this. I want to address a question that I've seen a little bit people asking about. If you're still on and you were wondering about if you're coming late to Vegas and you can't change your arrangements, I encourage you to at least fill out the form that Legend Brands and the Experience has put together for you to get the perks. and at least put your name and information in there because you know, we may work out something with them. I can't promise that, but go ahead and fill out the form. Go over to the note that's displayed at the top of the chat. It says www.cleanersresource.com/perks, or click if you see a little button on the side that shows you an arrow where it says, you know, get your perks. Go ahead and click there and fill out the form because, you know, that's the best thing to do if you're wondering about that.
Well, there we go.
Okay. So,
and, you know, and I will say this too, like stuff that I've taught for years that is still principle based. You know, selling is what you do when you're on the phone or face to face with somebody. Marketing is what you do to get someone on the phone or face to face with you, properly positioned, so by the time they talk to you, they're pre-interested, pre-motivated, pre-qualified, predisposed to do business with you. I still believe that today. Marketing is really about positioning. In order to sell your services, you need to make a powerful offer. Marketing is applied psychology. People don't buy from you because they understand what you do. People buy from you because they feel understood. The way to sell cleaning and restoration, stone care, it's not about the technical aspects of it. It's not about your equipment. It's not about the pH level. It's about literally understanding that you're selling something that nobody wants to buy. They're maintaining this stuff, and they're doing it because it just comes with owning it, and you have to take care of it. So you need to present and package and offer that in a way for it's real easy for someone to make a buying decision. You certainly need to be ethical. You know, what I love today, you know, I was very much a very anti and still am bait and switch guy. You know, I didn't like when people did it. I don't like misleading advertising. I like education-based marketing where you actually, the best way to sell what it is you're selling is simply teach people how to make a buying decision, teach them all the things that they don't know, and then they will know, like, and trust you. And if people know, like, and trust you, they will do business with you. And one of the advantages of modern day with, you know, the advent of the internet, which didn't even exist when we first started using this marketing stuff, we were advertising, you know, direct mail, that sort of stuff, is reviews. And so, you know, if you suck at what it is that you do, the public finds out very quickly that you suck. And so if you're an honest, hard-working, ethical person and you still don't have enough business, but you're good, you know, there is no relationship between being good and getting paid. There's a big relationship between being good, being a good marketer, and getting paid. And so, you know, how do you actually get others to talk about you in favorable ways when you do provide good services? How do you leverage those sort of things? So the beauty of it is there are answers to all of this. The last thing I'll end with, there's a book called The Book of Survival by Anthony Greenback. It's somewhere in these bookshelves. And it says, to get through an impossible situation, you don't need the reflexes of a Grand Prix driver, the muscles of a Hercules, or the mind of an Einstein. You simply need to know what to do. And so in order to, you know, do whatever it is you want to do in your business, you don't need to be a super genius. You just simply need to know what to do. And we know a lot of things that people can do to double their business in 120 days. We know a lot of things that people can do to build and grow their business. So it doesn't matter what sort of cleaning you do. Frankly, if you were a dog groomer and you came to our presentation that we're going to do at 8:30 in the morning on September 3rd in Vegas, you would actually learn how to dramatically build and grow your business. But if you're in the cleaning and restoration business, you're going to obviously have an advantage because we're going to speak of strategies specifically related to that. So I'm a little hungry now, so I'm hoping I could, like, just,
I was just going to read a couple of the kudos. You know, people are really excited about meeting us and being there, and I think it's nice, and we really appreciate that. You know, we took a lot of effort to put this together and to coordinate Joe's schedule, my schedule, Larry Cooper's schedule, and so it's nice when we get the shout-outs that we do. And so I was just going to just read off a couple of those and tell, you know, and thank you for the shout-outs. Bruce says, guys, nice sessions, cool, you're straightforward, looking forward to meeting you both. Bruce Bird, he gives out his company name. Thanks, guys. Andre Arnold gave us that compliment. Kelly, thanks. Looking forward to it all. Byron, thanks. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Matt, man, thanks. See you next week. So looking forward to seeing you guys there. Jerry definitely has some questions for us. Tim, thanks for all the information. And it goes on and on and on. If I didn't read your name, I apologize, but we are running short on time, and both Joe and I are starving. I know that. And so one other question somebody asked, and I'll direct everyone here, is she said, what are the first videos to watch or books to read for a startup company in smoke and water and smoke restoration? They're the same videos, the same things that we would have you look at for anything. And if you go to richcleaner.com, they're free, and you can opt in. You can go ahead and at the very top, you can click on a button. It'll ask for your name and email, and then we'll have a video series that we'll send you that will give you some really good insights, really great direction, and get you started, in the right spot. So.
Yeah, and let me mention that if you listen to all of the stuff that we have posted on richcleaner.com, the podcast, and you just start listening to that before you even come to the event, you'll get a lot more out of listening to us. It'll make more sense. If you listen to all of that and you just simply need more, I do 2 podcasts on iTunes, ilovemarketing.com. We have over 300,000 active listeners to that. We get 9,000 to 10,000 new downloads every day. So, over 40,000 people a day listen to an hour of me talking about some sort of business-related stuff on my podcast. And then I do a podcast with a guy named Dan Sullivan called 10xtalk.com, the number 10xtalk.com for affluent entrepreneurs. And it's 30-minute episodes, and Dan Sullivan's coached more successful entrepreneurs than anyone in the world. So me and Joel are going to provide you with so much really valuable content on an ongoing basis. But yeah, and most people have more stuff to read and go through than they physically have time for. I know we live in a very busy world, so one of the things that we focus on is that it's what to look at, what to implement, because you're never going to implement everything. But the goal is not perfection, the goal is progress. Progress, not perfection. And so that's what our main emphasis and focus is for everyone. And I really appreciate everyone taking the time to listen. It's really nice to do this. I enjoy meeting all the cool people that have been with us for a long time. We have clients that we'll see at this experience event that have been clients of mine for 20 years. So it's really valuable to me because I'm very big on being in the relationship business, not the transaction business. So.
Well, great. Well, thanks, Joe. Thanks for your time, and we appreciate everybody attending. And I think at this point we can probably sign out and say have a good evening, and we will see you at the experience. We're looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.